The scent of the salty water along the coast of Branch Clan's territory was still so strange to him. The scent was so sharp and clean compared to the murky water filled with mud and algae that he was used to in the forest. In the forest, the ponds and streams were brimming with a different kind of life than could be found along the coast. Muddy banks with tall water reeds hid turtles and small holes dug out by crayfish. The waters were murky and difficult to see in, often covered in algae and lily pads that provided plenty of places for fish and frogs alike to hide. You could never really tell what was hiding in the waters in the forest. You simply had to wait and watch the shadows and hold back the excitement of the hunt until the perfect moment when the shadow came just under your paw and... "Crowfeather?" A soft voice meowed, startling the tuxedo cat out of his thoughts. Crowfeather jumped and turned to see Sea Whisper walking towards him, her tail held high and a friendly smile on her face. "Are you all right?" she meowed, amusement in her purr. "Yeah," Crowfeather meowed, tilting his head to welcome her as she stood by his side in the sand. Out of everyone in Branch Clan, Sea Whisper had been the friendliest in welcoming him for his... stay. Crowfeather shook his head, putting those thoughts to the side for now. "Just thinking about frogs. It's been a while since I've had a chance to eat one. You guys don't seem to get any here along the beach." "No, not frogs," Sea Whisper meowed, her voice amused. "Though what we hunt in the saltwater is much better if you ask me." Sea Whisper tossed her head, a playful gleam in her eyes. "I mean, I suppose if you enjoy eating slimy frog legs, we can always teach you how to hunt jellyfish or sea slugs." "Ugh!" Crowfeather wrinkled his nose, playfully overreacting. "I'll stick to the tuna and koi, thanks." Sea Whisper laughed and sat down beside him, her voice quieting as she faced the ocean. Crowfeather was suddenly very aware of the way their tails were touching as they sat side by side, her tail thoughtlessly draped across his. He sat as still as possible, his pelt growing hot, not wanting to move and also not wanting to point out their tails in case Sea Whisper moved hers. But Crowfeather jumped as Sea Whisper suddenly sighed, her voice wistful. "Isn't it just so beautiful here? I can never get over how lovely the beaches are, or the way the waves forever move across the water towards the shore." Crowfeather looked up at the sea in front of them. The waters spread out for as far as the eye could see, gentle waves dancing across the surface. In the distance, large white birds spun in the air, diving occasionally into the water, their loud cries just faintly audible over the endless whisper of the sea. The water was clear and easy to see through, unlike the waves of his forest home, and the brightly colored fish that danced under the surface were easy to see as they moved in frantic schools from one spot among the sands to the next. Although they weren't the low-lying, thick rushes and heavy bushes that clustered around the forest ponds, there were plants, thin patches of seagrass, and a few brightly colored flowers that brought tiny bursts of color to the sands. Crowfeather drew in a deep, slow breath and felt something shift inside his heart, a sense of peace that he hadn't felt since he had arrived at the beaches. "Oh," he whispered, almost too softly for Sea Whisper to hear. "It really is beautiful here, too." "I am going to fight a fox," Wildpaw meowed again, her voice loud and her tail whipping behind her in annoyance. Stonepaw sighed and sat before his sister, his voice patient as he repeated himself yet again. "Wildpaw, don't go fight a fox, just because you haven't found the medical items you need yet." "But it is just so dumb. Medical items? That is what I have to find in order to become a warrior? What does smelly plants and special fish have to do with being able to fight? I have claws for a reason. I should be leading a raid or defending the clan, not stuck sniffing around for some stinky, stupid plants." Wildpaw hissed, racing from side to side. Stonepaw rolled his eyes and sighed again. "Otterslip gave you this assignment for a reason. Are you really going to argue with your mentor's choice and say it's dumb? I'm pretty sure she'd be really angry if she heard that." "Of course I'm not going to say it to her face," Wildpaw muttered, her ears flicking. "But it is still dumb. If I could go find a good fox to beat up, then I could show everyone that is what makes a real warrior and get on with things. Besides, I know she's eager for me to get my name so she and Quail can have their kits. Wildpaw hissed again, flicking her ears back and muttering viciously under her breath. Stonepaw stared at the sky and ignored his sister, waiting for her mood to calm down again. Maybe if I could just... Wildpaw continued muttering, then jumped as Sea Whisper walked around one of the large stones surrounding them. Oh, Wildpaw, Stonepaw, Sea Whisper meowed, her eyes bright. What are you two doing here? Stonepaw just sighed and looked at his sister, who was lashing her tail angrily. Sea Whisper tilted her head, an amused expression on her face. Still upset about not finding anything, Wildpaw? There's no need to rush, don't worry. I'm sure you'll find those medical items soon. In fact... Wildpaw perked up at the tone in Sea Whisper's voice, glancing towards the dusky blue sheet cat. Why don't you both come with me to the small field? I was thinking of heading there to... Sea Whisper glanced away, smiling. To see if I could hunt some frogs, but maybe it'd be better if you two came as well, as long as your mentors approve. Lately, there have been the scents of fox in the area, so it might be safer to go together, and then you can have a chance to look for the more rare medical things you need to become a warrior. Stonepaw sighed softly as Wildpaw shot him a triumphant look, then followed his sister as the two went off to ask permission from their mentors. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Sims 3 Warrior Cats Challenge, and we are here at Branch Clan once again today, where Crowfeather is spending a moment talking with Sea Whisper. So these two did have a little bit of a chance to talk about how beautiful the sea is, and I think Crowfeather's beginning to realize it's not that bad a place, but does it really take up the frog-shaped hole in his heart that is related to his love of the forest and Moss Clan? We will have to see, But yes, so as you guys can see, Wildpaw is still needing to get her rare items, and she's feeling pretty darn irritated about that, to the point where right now she is currently resting. So Wildpaw is actually resting inside the cave caverns. I really love how cool the little mineral slabs look for their pet houses in here. But she and her brother Stonepaw are resting inside the caves, and actually Stonepaw is over here in the nursery, which I think is kind of cute. And Otterslip is actually sleeping in the nursery. I think she might be, maybe, just potentially, trying out the feel of what it's like to lay in the moss bed of a queen. So yes, Otterslip is very excited to try for kits very soon. She might even do that today, but she's very worried because Wildpaw has not displayed a lot of advancement on her task to become a warrior. And it's been determined that Wildpaw needs to go and collect at least 3 rare medical items that could be of potential use to the clan. And until she does that, she can't get her warrior name, but she is still getting her warrior name potentially very early in terms of like her age, because she's already trained up quite heavily. She's already got over level 5 on her hunting skill. She's really determined. She has already fought off a raccoon and proven her bravery, and she even behaved herself and behaved well, managed not to get herself into too much trouble when they were over in Moss Clan. Hey, where are you two going, huh? What? 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 Did I? No. What? No. What? I didn't click that. I did not click that. Did I accidentally click that? No, because that would have been try for baby, and I had them socialize when we began. Try for baby would have taken effort to reach, because I did socialize. I'm walking myself through this to try to figure out. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to step back. I'm not going to do anything. 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 They stopped. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I didn't click that. I didn't know my cats had that kind of free will. I didn't know they could do that. Deep breath, Siri. Okay, well, aren't you two running away with, like, I guess the equivalent of teenage hormones? I didn't cancel that. It just vanished on its own. So, okay then. I think you two need to cool your heels. So we're going to send them outside to the beach. I'm like frantically breathing now. I did not select that. And I guess with the Woohooer mod installed, maybe cats can actually do that on their own, which sort of shocks me. Okay, let me know if they can do that on their own, or maybe I misclicked something, or who knows. But we're gonna have these two go ahead and you can playfully pounce one another. Wow. Okay then. I'm gonna say that Crowfeather, like I said, frog-shaped hole in his heart. Maybe it's got enough room for Sea Whisper, but that Crowfeather, what would happen if that happened? Jeez Louise. And Quail is watching. He's actually stalking for prey right now. So Quail is out and about stalking for prey. Slate is just happily fishing away. And I'm going to have these two just pounce on one another for a minute to sort of spend time together. When did your relationship like get so... Geez, it's not even that high. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think they were just getting carried away because I did not select that. So try for kittens would have taken. Yeah, I'm like walking myself frantically through what happened because I'm so stunned. Slate, aren't you stunned too? Perfect quality sea sludge. Not bad. Oh, and speaking of sea sludge, so a lot of you guys noted that it was kind of unbalanced, I should say, for one sea sludge to take away all of the fleas. When we make 3 oranges take away all of the fleas in Moss Clan. And I think we'll have to figure it out because maybe we can do it where like I roll to see how bad the flea infestation is. But I think maybe we'll lower it to 2 oranges. But sea sludge is random. You can't really tell if you're going to get it or not. Oranges, I feel like, should be more expensive as a cure item because oranges I can go ahead and grow, especially if the spirit of the land was doing well. Under normal circumstances, Moss Clan can practically grow an infinite amount of herbs and plants. So that's why I have it so expensive as a healing item for fleas in Moss Clan. And they have the same opportunity to use rodents as a cure as Branch Clan does. The two, any clan cat can use a rodent to get rid of fleas. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But I really appreciate your guys' input like that. I am working on the Google document and you guys have sent some amazing emails to help me out so that I will be able to start getting alliances in there. I'm hopefully going to be able to do that partially this weekend. Become best friends with Crowfeather. Oh boy, catch a bird, playfully chase Stonepot. What else do you want to do here? Groom, okay. All right, we're going to say that somebody's head is full of thoughts of this cat. Okay, become best friends with Sea Whisper. Oh, but he still wants to, he wants to playfully pounce Branch Star, and he wants to still be best friends with Briarstalk. So I think Crowfeather is starting to feel like he's sort of yanked in a few different directions. So I'm going to go ahead and let them actually pounce one another to try to train, because they both want to get to mastering the hunting skill. So I thought it would be kind of cool if they could just pounce and train together. And maybe, I think actually they should do a little bit of hunting, because I just noticed how hungry a certain Crowfeather is. I mean, look, here's a giant tuna. Do you two want to come and catch this gigantic tuna? That looks like it would be delicious for you. So goodness. Whew. All right. I'm still sort of like in shock at what we saw earlier. Didn't expect that. But anyway, Wildpaw did get permission to go and join Sea Whisper, who was thinking it would be nice to maybe potentially catch a frog for Crowfeather, but she thought it would be fun to go to the small field and maybe catch Crowfeather a frog, because Crowfeather right now, I'm going to have him come over and do some fishing too. Right now, he is not allowed outside of Branch Clan territory as part of the deal for being able to catch as many fish as he wants and taking him to Moss Clan, which is really awesome. Oh, she just caught a lobster. Let's see if she can catch a kissing gourami. I think that she would like to give that to him. A kissing gourami given between cats, especially from Branch Clan, is a sign of affection, and a hibiscus given between cats in Moss Clan is a sign of affection. Maybe a lizard should be. Maybe the blue-tailed lizard should be. A ninja starfish. That's a really cool catch. All right, but yeah, these two are definitely having something go on, so that's quite interesting. There's a crayfish. They're both really good hunters too. All right. Oh, and Stonepaw is off trying to catch something. When did you wake up, Stonepaw? Now you're off to go sniff. You're off to go sniff. Misty Pond. And what else does he want to do? Sniff Quail, Dogaze, Oak Paw, playfully chase Moonpaws. Moonpaw awake. She's about to be awake. And Branch Star, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, they're standing guard. I wonder, Branch Star should probably have a conversation. Oh, he wants to catch a gift for Moonpaw, so we'll do that later too. Visit a cat jungle. What do you want to do? Give a gift to Dawnstep. All right, we'll check out what these cats are up to in a little bit, as long as everybody is more or less in decent health. Oh, and what's Trout Shadow doing over here? All right, he's coming. Oh, he's guarding an object. Trout Shadow's a little bit lazy, but he does want to improve his hunting skill. We'll go ahead and have him maybe stalk a little bit of prey this direction. Bear Glow, I'm actually going to have him collect the seashells, but we'll do that in a moment. For now, where's Night Frost? She's also resting in the nursery, which is just kind of like a nice little quiet area. I think honestly, like all of the queens, even if they're not a current queen of this area, like coming in and resting inside of the nursery. So I think that's kind of just a thing they do, because it's very comfortable and nice in there, kind of shaded. It's a nice little circle area, in case you guys haven't noticed. So it's sort of shaded from all of the sea winds, and you can still hear the waves. So it's very, very nice in there. I wonder if Sea Whisper has dreams of being able to stay in there. Good grief, cat. Trying to go and try for kits with Crowfeather. Maybe she considers him like that much of an official member of the clan already? I wonder. Startled the heckadoodle out of me. Oh my gosh. A shark? Crowfeather? A shark? Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that random generator for whether or not those fish are dangerous, I'm actually going to be working on, and we'll be doing it as a behind the paws thing, so that's soon. All right, and a black goldfish. All right, and Crowfeather is going to catch one more fish, so I'm going to let Sea Whisper come over and scratch this. And then what would she give Crowfeather as a gift? Probably a black goldfish, because he's got like black fur, and I imagine that'd be a really cute thing to draw, actually, is her presenting a beautiful black goldfish to him as a present. But yeah, he does like black goldfish apparently. So nope, don't lie down here, go over here, Mr. Kitty Cat, and then we'll have Sea Whisper go ahead and present it to Crowfeather as a gift for him, because I think that she would really like to do that. So present to Crowfeather, because these two want to become good friends. I wonder what kind of relationship boost it does to present a gift to another cat. There we go. And then Crowfeather's coming over, and he really likes it. Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet. This relationship, like, I'm not trying to really push it. It just has sort of taken off without me. So it's more like we're along for the ride versus telling the story of their relationship for them, to be honest. All right, and we'll go ahead and let him eat this. And then we'll just leave these cats be, because it looks like they want to get a little bit of rest. I think Sea Whisper is super excited, and she would actually really, really love if she could go and maybe catch that frog for Crowfeather, but she's turning in for an early night so that she can get ready to go out with Wildpaw, because she's been given permission to take Wildpaw and Stonepaw to the small field. Crowfeather can't come because he's not allowed off of clan territory until it is time for Greenleaf, which is only 3 days away. So in Greenleaf is when he has to make his decision on if he's staying or going, and we'll have to see. Man, that's getting kind of tricky. Whew, really tricky, actually. All right, and then what's going on over here? Ooh, that's a big old something something. What'd you just catch? That's actually pretty nice. Is that like a salmon? Slate, geez, everybody is catching some pretty cool things. Oh, and Misty Pond's actually playing with Stonepaw. That's pretty cool. All right, Stonepaw. Sniff Bear Glow, playfully chase Moonpaw. Is she awake yet? A perfect red herring. That's what that was. Oh, and Wildpaw has improved her hunting skill? Did you improve it just by like guarding something? All right, and there's Otterslip, who's her mentor. So it looks like Wildpaw wants to go and... Oh, and she wants to go improve her hunting skill from here too. Sniff Crowfeather, sniff Night Frost, catch a bird. Is Crowfeather going to bed? Is he already asleep? Where are you, Crowfeather? Are you gonna just... Are you seriously... Okay, so he's awake. I thought he was gonna try to curl up on the ground next to Sea Whisper, and I was gonna be like, are you kidding me? It's just getting ridiculous. I'm not even controlling you two cats. Crowfeather, that was a little concerning. I hope you're feeling all right, buddy. A little bit of demon cat for a second there. All right, that's fine. All right, and then Branch Star, I think would... it's not time for the morning hunting yet, but does he have anything in his inventory to help feed the clan? And he does actually... Trout Shadow just caught a rainbow beetle. Oh my gosh. He is going to be one proud puppy. Trout Shadow is going to be showing that off. There's so many cats who want to have kits in this clan. Anybody who catches a rainbow beetle is going to be pretty hot stuff for a moment, because rainbow beetles are extraordinarily unusual, super, super, super rare, and they are used to cure kits of deadly diseases. So if a kit's life is absolutely in danger, a rainbow beetle may be used to cure it. It doesn't really work on adult cats, it only works for kits, but that means that Trout Shadow just got something rare. That's Wild Paw's gonna be so mad because that's exactly what Wild Paw is supposed to be going out and finding. Okay, there's a bunch of cockroaches. That's right, she brought back cockroaches and stag beetles and a gecko from the hunting that she did, and that a rare item does not make. That rare medical item does not make. So Trout Shadow, he's stalking for prey one last time. Who would he go brag to? I think he would go brag to Misty Pond about that catch. And Misty Pond wants to be best friends with Stonepaw. Misty Pond, I don't know if that's a good idea. I wonder, is Misty Pond interested in Stonepaw because he has special powers? Because he's connected to the spirit of the land? Misty Paw, you really need to talk to your brother. Like, I'm not saying your brother's plans are good or anything like that, but he might have a more stable head on his shoulders. I'm a little worried about this. Hang in there, Stonepaw. Don't you let the big she-cat boss you around. But, I mean, I guess if they want to be friends. All right, Sniff Night Frost, Quail Eye. We'll get that out of the way. Give a gift to Dawnstep. And then, I guess Oakpaw isn't here. But we need to remember that, you guys, that Stonepaw is interested in Oakpaw. Probably in another cat around his age who also may have special abilities, though Oakpaw hasn't displayed them openly. So we'll go ahead and put Sniff Bearglow in there. Oh, I probably should have taken out Sniff Dogaze. But again, I wonder if he wants to sniff the medical cats, or the medicine cats, because he's thinking about their abilities and his ability and what does it mean, and here's Slate, and maybe he wants to go find a rock. Does he? Yeah, I know that seems kind of odd. Maybe he wants to go find a rock, but when he finds rocks, that's when he's able to get a bunch of fish. So there's a rock over here. Let's go ahead and send him over here so he can find a fish with Slate. Well, we gather up the rocks. What Stonepaw does is he gathers these rocks up and feeds them to the stone spirit. And when he feeds them to the stone spirit, then the stone spirit gives him some fish in return. Crowfeather, where are you going? You're just goofing around over there. Well, you do want to pounce Branch Star. I guess Crowfeather... No, Crowfeather, go to sleep! I don't even know why he won't go to sleep. Who knows? Alright, well, we'll leave those two alone. Oh, and what's this? Be nuzzled by your sister. That's just so sweet. All right, we'll leave him there to get nuzzled by his sister, but we'll collect this piece of metal that he found for the stone spirit. And it is only worth two fish, because we can round up. So it's worth 72 Simlonians, which means we can put down 2 fish. And I think that that is what he would spend it on right now. And then actually these bloodstones were collected by the bloodstones were collected by Wild Paw last time, and she was hoping that they would be big and fancy and enough for her to count them as rare medical items. But Bearglow, I'm gonna say he acted like he wasn't very impressed by these, but secretly he was impressed, and he has plans for what he's going to do with these bloodstones. All right, but let's see. And we sold the now floating piece of gold, and because it was worth 76 Similonians, or 72 Similonians, excuse me, then that means we can put down 2 fish, because you can round up, and base is always at least 1 fish. So let's do perfect herrings. I think 2 perfect quality herrings would go down, and that would be like Stonepaw's contribution for the morning hunt. All right, and Slate, we can send you back over. Slate, he likes dark wave music. All right, I didn't know that about you, Slate. And I think we'll go ahead and send Slate back over, because I think Stonepaw would be keeping a whole bunch of the rocks that are currently in the caves sort of saved up for if and when they might need those rocks. Oh, there's Wild Paw. Hey, Wild Paw, you gonna sniff your brother? There you go. Give him a little sniff. Give him a little sniff. Maybe a little nuzzle, because she was coming over here. I think Wild Paw's like, aren't you so excited? We get to go out and look for medical items. Or like, well, she wants to fight a fox. There are foxes in the world, by the way. And I added more foxes in. And then be groomed. by Dawnstep. I think that's Dawnstep's way of saying thank you to Trout Shadow for getting the special beetle. All right, we'll let these two kind of be. Well, actually, Sniff Stonepaw, play with another pet, and he actually wants to play with Quail Eye, it looks like. I really want Trout Shadow to be able to go and brag to someone. He would brag to Misty Pond. I'm 90% sure he would brag to Misty Pond. So let's wake Misty Pond up and then let Trout Shadow come over and talk about how he got this rare item to help out any kits that any of the queens might want to have, as his way of trying to be kind of like, hey, Misty Pond, you have beautiful fur tonight. He is quite the flirt, though. All right, go here, Misty Pond. Come here. There you go, Trout Shadow. Because I just feel like... And then Dawnstep really wants to groom him. I don't know what that's about, but give me just a second. Because, yeah, I think he would go ahead and sniff. Maybe socialize. There you go. And then he would leave the beetle inside the medicine den. So we'll go ahead. What are you doing in here, Crowfeather? Gonna sleep in the medicine den? All right. Yeah, he would leave the beetle inside here, if I can get it in there. Can I only put it on top? Because that's a little bit awkward. All right. He would leave it probably just straight inside the medicine den for Bearglow, and I don't think anything would happen to it. Hang on just a second. There you are. All right. And we'll drop that in there. There we go. Does he have anything else? I think he'd also drop off like the almost dried out Womrat. What? We can't use that one? All right. Well, then he wouldn't drop off the almost dried out Womrat. But I think that Misty Pond might say something about this luminous salamander and encourage him to leave it as well. So we'll do that. And maybe the leaf, he'd kind of be like, sure, here, take it. Take it all. It's not like I'm going to do anything with it. And then there we go. But he might want to eat the salmon. I can see Trout Shadow definitely being one of those cats who'd be like, wait, you want to take the salmon too? Maybe I don't want that. And Quail Eye has just improved his hunting. All right. So I think Quail Eye is out playing. Where is Quail Eye? Oh, a Dawnstep. Oh, catch something extraordinarily unusual. You guys. Oh my goodness. I think he wants to catch something extraordinarily unusual, because what is extraordinarily unusual that we just saw, that we just were looking at? All right, let's go ahead and open this up. Okay. Extraordinarily unusual. So Quail Eye, for some odd reason, wants to go find a rainbow beetle. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So... he's talking to Dawnstep, possibly checking in on her. We often say that when they pounce on one another, that's what they're doing. And I've never seen that want before, to catch something extraordinarily unusual. So I wonder, can I actually, let's see, hunting, locate prey, beetle. Now, if we did that with Quail Eye, what would he find and where would he find it? Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's give him a chance to try to locate some prey. Dawnstep almost seems to be following him, and she's off to groom one of her daughters, or well, her only daughter right now. All right, Quail Eye. So, can you find a beetle, Quail Eye? Oh! There's a lot of beetles! What? There's a lot of beetles in our territory. What's going on over here? Is this Moonpaw? Oh, Moonpaw and Branch Star kind of spending a moment chit-chatting with each other. All right, so there's a lot of beetles here, but I think they're mostly just like little pill bugs. And yeah, I think it's recognizing... I think it's mostly recognizing... What's this? That might be a potentially useful beetle. No, that's just a normal beetle. All right, yeah, it's recognizing all of the spiders that live in the caves. That's what it's doing. Well, I got all excited for a second because I was like, whoa, look at all those beetles. Then there's a beetle, but that's a Moss Clan territory. And then there's a beetle over here, but he's not going to go all the way into lake territory. That'd be dangerous. And then there's some beetles over here. All right, sorry, buddy. It looks like using the little like find beetle thing didn't really help us much. So we're going to go ahead and let Quail Eye start stalking for prey, because I think he's got it in his head. In fact, I know what's going to happen. Quail Eye, we're going to send you up to the temple. He's going to go up to the temple ruins to go ahead and come over here and stalk for prey. Oh, and what's this? The wolfsbane is ready to harvest. Oh, I know a certain medicine cat who's going to want to get over here and harvest up all of the things that are over here. So we're going to send Quail over into the ruins because he will have gotten it in his head that maybe in these ruins he might be able to find the thing that he's looking for. He might be able to find the sorry, I'm trying to figure out the beetle. There we go. The rainbow beetle. I can't believe I forgot. I forgot because I was thinking how I have to have Slate come over here. And don't get me wrong, you guys, we're not trying to garden. Slate cannot plant anything, but because they own this lot, I actually have to have them come over and tend this garden or else everything's going to die. That's kind of annoying. If we had left it a community lot, that wouldn't have happened, but then it would be filled with people all the time. And it's an abandoned ruin. It's not supposed to be filled with people all the time. All right, ignore that. And let's come over and Moonpaw. What's Moonpaw doing? She's getting ready to goof around. She still wants to play with another pet. She wants to train. She wants to meet someone new. Interesting. I wonder if she's feeling a little bit distracted by what's here. And then let's see, sleep. So Branch Star's off to sleep. The morning hunt is actually supposed to begin pretty soon. And I think he will have invited Moonpaw to do morning fishing. But I don't know if Moonpaw really likes being much of a fisher. So where did Stonepaw go? Does he want to do anything? He wants to playfully chase Moonpaw. So let's actually have him come over here, play, chase, and spend a little bit of time with Moonpaw. Sniff, socialize, and then chase. There we go. All right, so we've got that all set up. Crowfeather is finally sleeping. And let's get Sea Whisper because she's supposed to leave. Oh, she just woke up. All right. Let's get Sea Whisper fed, and she's going to get ready to go. That's angelfish. It's broken, so we'll have to take care of it. We're just going to say, like, with these guys, the fish just went bad. Like, we're just going to start doing that with prey that they can't eat. It just means that the prey items went bad because it's just silly to keep them otherwise. All right, there we go. Plus, they catch so many things all of the time. I don't feel bad just saying that, hey, this prey item went bad. All right, and I think Sea Whisper would go ahead and give Bear Glow all of the special items that she's collecting. Bear Glow does look like the kind of cat who would sit in front of a beetle and think about, like, picking its little legs off and picking its little wings off, doesn't he? All right, so she's doing good. Just getting groomed by her mom. And then, let's see, Stonepaw. Love Day is here. Go hug your friend and kiss your partner because love is in the air. I wonder if the cats have anything like that. All right, Bear Glow is going. Oh, and then Night Frost comes over to nuzzle Bear Glow. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let Sea Whisper eat. Then we'll send her out to the giant litter box, aka the big sandy beach that they have out front. She doesn't need to use it though. So after she finishes scratching up the post, then we will send those ones. So somebody over here needs to stop playing with Moonpaw soon. You need to leave soon, Stonepaw. Okay, these two are pretty fun. It's really fun to see them as friends too. Man, Moonpaw actually, I love the little dots that she has from her mom, but she has her father's build, doesn't she? And for those of you guys who don't know who Moonpaw's dad is, you definitely need to go back and watch that mystery. All right. Oh, be best friends with Moonpaw. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my goodness, I love it. All right, and Moonpaw. Oh, play with another pet. I think she would want to play with Stonepaw instead of actually playing with Wildpaw. Playing with Wildpaw is just like that thing you do when you're like, maybe the person who bullies me won't bully me today, and you know they're going to, so why are you trying? And Quail, I just caught a pygmy hedgehog. Not bad. I forgot that he is looking for the extremely unusual. Gosh, these two are so cute. He is looking for the extremely unusual beetle. That's very interesting how that is suddenly his obsession, the thing that he feels like he really, really has to do. Also, somebody remind me for the next Behind the Paws, we need to come over here and actually put down some proper scratching post. I wonder if we sell this lot. If it reverts back to a community lot, then I don't think the plants need tended to, because it really isn't Slate's character to come and tend plants. So don't mind me, those are just like details of trying to figure out how to make certain aspects of the game function the way we wish they could. All right, so Sea Whisper is just about good to go. Wildpaw is being groomed by everybody. So we're gonna let her break free of the grooming cycle. Apparently, I guess everybody's trying to share tongues with her, like, hey, Wild Paw, don't worry, you're gonna be a warrior sometime soon, and all that. Okay. Dawn Step, how are you doing? She's off to throw up. That's normal for a pregnant she-cat, I guess? Are you, Dawn Step, are you feeling okay? I think she's feeling extremely nervous and even upset for some reason. It's almost like she's not super excited to have these kids for some reason. All right, and once everybody is all good and ready to go. All right, no, leave Stonepaw alone. All right, Stonepaw, where are you? You weren't even allowed to finish scratch gun things, for crying out loud, Otterslip. Leave them alone. I'm trying to get these guys over to the little field so that they can get something done. And then we'll send Otterslip over to do some fishing. Sniff Stonepaw. You should be encouraging Wildpaw, actually. Where's Wildpaw? Alright, actually, let's send Otterslip over here after she pees so that she can encourage Wildpaw. Alright. Wildpaw, when did you get fleas? Quail, I caught a cockroach. Not quite what we're looking for. Alright, come here. Come here, Otterslip. Wildpaw's about to head out. Alright, Wildpaw, you go ahead and pee over here, actually. And Wildpaw has just gained the non-destructive trait. Interesting. I wouldn't have anticipated that from her. I would have thought she would more have the destructive trait, to be honest. Alright, let's do a friendly nuzzle and a friendly socialize to encourage her student. And then you go ahead and pee over here, and then we'll head out soon. Because somebody wants to go catch Crowfeather. Yeah, somebody wants to go catch Crowfeather, some frogs. Alright, Stonepaw, for crying out loud. Let's get you taken care of. You're gonna have your portrait color change if you keep this up. Do you even have anything to eat? Can you eat this? No, you've broken it. You can't even eat this. Alright, we'll let Stonepaw eat, and then we'll send them out. And Moonpaw, everybody is guarding the prey pile by, like, watching over. Perfect Koi. By watching over this bug. It's kind of hilarious. Alright, Moonpaw is doing good. Nightfrost is doing good. Alright. And yeah, I think actually Otterslip will take the time before Stonepaw is ready to go to have Wildpaw spend a little bit of time with her mentor. And she does want to sniff Nightfrost, which I think is kind of interesting. Alright, well, Nightfrost is right here, so you can go ahead and sniff her real quick. And then maybe you can do a quick pounce with your mentor. I think Otterslip would be offering to go, but I think Wildpaw, knowing that there have been foxes sighted in the area, because we do have them in the neighborhood, then we may run into them and then need to fight with them. But I think Wildpaw would be like, no, we're going to be fine. We're just going to go get some frogs and maybe I'll be able to find those rare items. She would really dismiss it and try to get Otterslip to kind of leave her alone. And then nuzzle Moonpaw. Alright. And then eating a beetle. Why didn't you eat the thing I told you to eat? Who knows? As long as you're full, I guess. I hope you didn't break that koi fish, Stonepaw. Alright, and then improve hunting skill. Socialize with Stonepaw. Interesting. Where's Crowfeather? He's sleeping. I think that Wildpaw would have forgotten about talking to Crowfeather by now. Alright, for crying out loud, cats. Herding cats. It really is kind of tricky. Stonepaw, we're waiting on you. Alright, finally done. Wonderful. Now that that's done, let's go ahead. And we are going to go over to the small field. And yes, like I said, there are foxes. There actually should be foxes that show up on this lot fairly regularly. So we're going to come over here. And the point of coming here with Sea Whisper, go here with, and we're going to take the 2 apprentices. Moonpaw is also an apprentice, but she's going to get left out of this. And I don't think she's going to be very happy when she finds out. She's just, you know, being dragged to the side. And I think that Branch Star tends to baby her a little bit. And who knows his complicated reasons for doing that. Why do you have fleas too? This is why Stonepaw has been saving things up. But at least Stonepaw will be able to collect all the rocks that we've got saved up in that area. Alright, so we'll get rid of those fleas later as well. Alright, off they go. And then where is Quail Eye? And Quail Eye is still stalking for prey over here. Wow, there's a lot of stones over here. We should probably remove a few of them. And is he having any luck? Ooh, those are some beetles, but are they the beetles, Quail Eye? Are they the beetles that you're looking for? And I wonder why he would be so fascinated and so interested with trying to collect the beetles that he's going for. The unusual ones. That's really, really interesting because I've never had a cat try to... Oh, and Nightfrost just caught a spider. She's always trying to collect things for Bearglow that way. I have never had a cat go out of their way to try for kittens with another cat before, and I've never had a cat go out of their way to want to catch something extraordinarily unusual before. So I think this is a very, very, very interesting turn of developments. All right, let's make sure everybody over here is safely making their way to the field. Looks like they are. Looks like they are. Wonderful. And I think that Sea Whisper, she's going to wait for the others. Nobody got hit by a monster. Wonderful. I think she would go ahead and socialize with Wildpaw to kind of encourage her. Say, all right, you're gonna... Good luck on finding your hunt. And I wonder if Stonepaw... I could totally see Wildpaw bullying Stonepaw into giving her like a rare item if he happens to come across one too. I think he might come over and do a little bit of fishing over here as well. So let's let Stonepaw try out some fishing in this pond. And this is the frog-filled pond that Sea Whisper is actually going to try to do a little bit of fishing in today. But first she's going to leave a little like encouraging note for Wildpaw. Like, all right, good luck with your hunt. And Stonepaw, are you over there? Can you fish? Stonepaw, what are you doing over there? All right, well, I'm going to have to get the pond prepared for fishing in, apparently. Phooey. Come on, can you come fish? Really? No, we're going to be able to fish in this pond. All right, and these two are going to come over, and we'll have her go here. All right, you guys, so we have got the cats over to this pond, and that is one of our major obstacles. Wildpaw is here. I thought we'd get here a little faster, but that's just the way of things sometimes. Wildpaw's over here. It doesn't look like there's anything particularly shiny, but I do think if her brother was here, she might bully her brother into forking over a rare item if he happens to stumble on one. So a lot of developments today. We've got Otterslip, who is very eager to try for kits pretty soon. She's protecting the prey pile, apparently. And then Branch Star is still sort of babying Moonpaw, not really letting her go too far. Moonpaw is startled by something. I didn't know she had the ability to be startled. So I wonder what she's startled by. What's going on with you, Moonpaw? Something in the caves? Did you see something? Interesting. Who knows? And then Bearglow has been very quiet, other than giving Crowfeather a good bop over the head and then getting bopped back. He has been very, very quiet. Dawnstep's pregnancy continues to advance. She is still expecting kits. Nightfrost... we're going to be seeing some interesting things with Nightfrost pretty soon. Then Misty Pond is being quite interesting. She seems to be a little bit laid back. She seems to be trying to fit in her own way, and it doesn't seem like she's that interested in Trout Shadow. I could have sworn that they might be a thing. But man, Crowfeather, speaking of those I would have sworn may not be a thing, I'm still stunned by your behavior, sir. Look at you. You've vanished. There you are, hiding in there. Shame. For shame. What clan do you really belong to, Crowfeather? So he's going to have to address that, and then we are going to spend some time over here fishing with these guys next time. I'm going to make sure they can fish in here, and I'll put down a few things that they can scratch while they visit this lot as well. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.